Hi and welcome back to another video. I hope everybody had a good Christmas. I got this Koi watercolor pocket field sketchbox for Christmas and I thought I'd do a little review for you guys. This is from Sakura, probably best known for their Micron and Jelly Roll pens. And this is the little box that it comes in. It's a great little box and it comes with this little tray that you can put in on both sides. It has these little legs on it, and yeah, this is my first like plastic palette, and I think it's a great little box. So as you can see, it has a little thumb key ring on the back there, so you can take it out and have a grip on it. The little paints popped out. Once they get wet, I'm sure that won't happen anymore, and actually the tray that usually lays on top there would secure them into place. I really like the packaging, and there's a nice variety of colors in here. It does come with two little sponges on the side there for dabbing and this water brush. The big portion on the back, they recommend on the box that you could use it for a board. You know, you can cut out pieces in and put them in there. So I'm doing some swatches here, but it's not that interesting, so I fast forwarded through that. Right now I'm just doing a couple of primary color mixes. I really like the color combination that they give you in this box. I think all the colors work really nicely together, and you have a lot of primaries, so you can do a lot of mixing, but you can also just use the colors as is, and I don't find them too garish, so you can use them pure. And you also get a nice selection of earth tones. Two kind of out of the ordinary colors that I found in this set were the Jaune Brilliant, so it's kind of like a Naples yellow, and that's unusual. It's really handy for mixing skin tones. And the Olive Green, the color that I like personally, and I think it's really handy for doing landscapes or backgrounds. I really like the way that these paints sort of, I don't know if you can tell from the swatches here, they have this kind of like cloudiness to them. They are really gritty, and if you don't like texture, maybe you wouldn't like these paints, but they do lay really flat and clean despite the grittiness. I would mention that the Payne's Gray is a little bit more neutral than usual. I think most brands tend to have a more kind of blue tinge to them, but that's not a problem, and I think it's really nice for toning down things if you want to. My impression about these paints is that I think they'd be really great if you're just gonna do a couple of passes with color. So I think that's like how they would excel if you're just like going a little bit more solid with them, because they do tend to lay on the surface a little bit, and they do lift really easily. So layering, if you're doing a lot of glazing layers, that might be tricky. I think that they have a very pleasant color quality to them, and they'd be really good for reproduction. So if you're doing cards, I think that they would have a very nice translation to print. I found some old drawings and I thought I would use them to do a little demonstration. So I transferred it using my light table, and because I thought that the set was really good for journaling or card making, I thought I would do a couple of little cutesy drawings just to show you what that looks like. And I think it's like a very easy starter set. I think you could just have fun with them right away. So I figured if you were a journaler, just show you some lettering here, how nice that lays. This is just one color, lightly washed. I think it's the quinacridone rose. So if you can see on that cupcake, with a bit more layers you get a little bit more texture, and you can run into some problems with like a chalkiness or a muddiness because the paint is a little bit more opaque. So it just depends on what you're going for. You need to use a lot of water if you want to get more transparent color. And then I just did a quick little drawing in my multimedia sketchbook just to show you the paints at full strength, because they are very vibrant. If you're somebody that uses them more intensely, you can get really nice effects as well. So there's like 2 different variations. And I was going to leave it at that, but then I thought I would show you how I would use the paints if I was doing an illustration. And I just found a drawing of mine. I've been drawing a lot of mice lately, just to show you that if you do have a little bit more experience, you can get a lot out of these paints too. It's not just for a beginner. I would just recommend that you do let the layers dry if you are layering, and I think that it's best, or they just look a lot nicer, the colors, if there aren't too many layers going on, and if you can get things done in the fewer passes, I think you'll get the most out of these paints. I tend to do more cartoony style little illustrations, and I think that the colors and the quality are very complementary to that. If you like doing these kinds of illustrations, you might really like these paints. So at the beginning, I couldn't get the water brush to work. I thought it was broken or something until my husband came down and just screwed it on for me. So I would just say that you do have to get the little teeth in at the same spot to screw the cap on properly. Anyways, here's a size comparison just with the Pentel brush pen, water brush, if you have one of those. So I quickly did a little sort of landscape painting from a picture I took in my backyard. Snow is a tricky thing to paint, so this is my first kind of attempt at it. It didn't totally work, but I just wanted to give you an idea of if you were taking this out, how it would work with landscapes, because you do have a lot of earth tones in there. I really do think the colors are very happy and cheerful, and they have a nice quality in that respect. So there's the brush pen in action. I don't really use water brushes very much, so I don't have much to say about that, but it seems to work. And that was done in a watercolor sketchbook. Anyhow, I would recommend this to anybody starting out, and yeah, I think it's really nice for reproductions, as I was saying. And yeah, I'll play around with this a little bit more. It's a nice set. I hope this was helpful to you guys, and if you have experience with other Japanese watercolor brands, let me know. Is that a quality of Japanese paints that they lay on the surface and lift really easy? Anyhow, thanks for stopping by.